Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cadillac. I'm analyzing Game 2 of the Week 1. I'm looking at Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. It's one of the late games on Sunday in Week 1 of the NFL season 2017. And I'll tell you something, I like this game a lot because it could be a preview of the NFC Championship game come January. Because these two teams, they did a lot of restructuring in the offseason, but certain things seem to be the same. You got problems with Seattle. You got the offensive line. It seems to be that that's the biggest problem on the Seattle Seahawks is the offensive line. And if they continue to have the problems that they do, Russell Wilson might have an early season or an early exit, you might say, in this season, in this game, because he can't take 40 sacks a year. He can't take running for his life all the time. And I can tell you right now, the Green Bay Packers, their defense is going to be looking for Russell Wilson. And don't forget the return of Eddie Lacy, who was previously of the Green Bay Packers. He signed this offseason with the Seattle Seahawks, and he's looking to make a nice comeback because he was basically discarded by the Green Bay Packers after the season. His role was diminished, and he kind of, went sideways basically with the Green Bay Packers. He was in Mike McCarthy's doghouse for a while, and in the offseason they kind of let him go, and he signed with Seattle. Now, Seattle had basically a running back by committee last season with the sudden retirement of Marshawn Lynch, who right now is also with, came back out of retirement and is with the Raiders. But that's a whole nother story. Going forward, you got Eddie Lacy's, again, he's looking for a return. You got that offensive line that needs to definitely make some moves. Otherwise, they got to get better. Otherwise, Russell Wilson is going to be horizontal instead of vertical. But 2016, you got the Green Bay Packers. They beat Seattle during the season at Lambeau Field, 38-10. That might be on the mind of Seattle, but this is an early game in the season. We'll see what happens. The Seattle Seahawks are usually not a great road team early in the season. Now, the Green Bay Packers had their own problems because their secondary has a couple of holes, and they made it last year all the way to the NFC Championship game. But I think that they're going to go further this year. I think they'll be playing probably the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But when you have Aaron Rodgers, he's a magician. This guy is like Houdini, because to tackle him, it's almost impossible. And the guy doesn't make mistakes. And against Seattle, he knows Seattle. He knows Seattle very well, having played them many times in his career. And I see this game as going not as close as the spread says. Green Bay is -3. You got the last 8 games, Green Bay versus Seattle. Green Bay is 5-3 straight up, 4-3-1 against the spread. But at Lambeau Field, here's the kicker. Green Bay is 4-0 straight up and 3-0-1 against the spread. So I'll tell you something here, folks. I'm going to lay the points, Green Bay at home. I think Aaron Rodgers and company, they get off to a fast start this year, not like in 2016 when all was looking pretty bad for them and it was hopeless, but they went on their 8-game winning streak and they ran the tables like they said they were going to. But this year I think it's going to be different. I think they're going to have a nice fast start. Seattle still has to find some solutions for that offensive line. Eddie Lacy will get used to it. Russell Wilson, maybe not so. So this game here, I definitely like Green Bay. Lay the points, -3. And you can find out all the rest of my NFL analysis for Week 1 on my website at jeffcadillac.com. And you can also find my best bet of the week on Twitter on Fridays at jeffcadillac1. Take care for now.